What's the deal? Come on, get up in this thing, y'all. What's happening with y'all, man? What's the deal? What's happening? Man, we ain't doing nothing. We just chilling, man. We getting it in, you know what I mean? I figured that I'd holler at y'all for a second, see what the deal is, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. What's good, TD, man? I'm just up in here, man. Came in here to pop with y'all for a second, see what's cracking, you know? Let the content. I'm good, you know what I mean? Come on, Town Chunky, what's the deal? Compton Finest tapping in. Uh-huh. Jamal Bradshaw, man, neighborhood, bro. How you doing, man? Crenshaw veteran. Crenshaw veteran say, I know you just seen the grid stream. Come on, man. They got butchers and shit all over there, man. Like, what the world done came to? Jonathan, what up, man? What's up, Jonathan? Ten Toes, what's up, man? Jamal Brad, Free Baby Ripper, man, for sure. Free Baby Ripper and Ross. You know what I mean? Free little brother Ross also. You know what I mean? Huh. Come on, man. What's going on? I know old girl over there. I ain't, whatever. You know what I mean? She ain't bigger than me. You know what I mean? So I ain't, whatever. Pop that hot stuff. Pop whatever you want. That's something you got to talk to him about. What is that? AML? You know, GB. I'm just gonna say GB from here on out. Tony Johnson, for sure. Phoenix, Arizona in the house. You already know. You know what I mean? For sure. Guarantee. What's the deal, man? We got a lot of topics to touch, man. You know what I mean? I've been really paying close attention to the DW Flame and Briccbaby situation. You know what I mean? Stingy, what's happening? You know? SIP little no good for sure. I can see that. You know what I mean? I've been paying attention to the DW Frame and Briccbaby situation. I'm like, bro, when y'all was in Orange Reach, bro, this was your brother. You know what I mean? See, that's one thing that I be saying about this situation is this, bro. Dudes do not be having they don't be having the potential or the capacity to stay impartial. Me and you brothers, I get into it with the employer. You gonna jump down my throat? Like, at least you ain't gonna get out there verbally and voice it like that no matter what's going on, if you human resources or not. You know what I mean? But bro, I thought we was brothers that nobody could get us into it with one another. Huh? I mean, that's what Briccbaby said, you know. When dudes was trying to make him crash out over the nap comment, he said we brothers. You can make me get into it with my brother over a slip up. What's going on now? Man, make it make sense, bro. Like, because he out of the building now, you know what I mean? And you got home court advantage. It's all fair game. I can't second that emotion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know DW Flame from Long Beach Insane, whatever. I get it. But y'all locked in. Y'all said y'all bros. I'm a tourist the bull. When we locked in until I feel like I'm betrayed. You know? In this situation right there, bro, I'm like, whoa, that was that easy? You know? It's that easy? Like, so I get into it with my employer. I can't be no whistleblower because I'm from the streets. I'm up here working before I could get out of the streets. You know what I mean? I got it's policies in place. It's things that, dude gotta adhere to. things that's available to me. Like I see that's like, you know what I mean? We see the Pisces and stuff come over here and they just be happy to get the job. But once they get in, they go through that policy and they become American overnight. Nah, you owe me this, you owe me that, you owe me this. Like and they entitled to that. You know what I mean? If this man over here getting into it with the employer, bro, what that gotta do with you, Briccbaby? Like, you know what I mean? We got to draw the line somewhere. You know, I'm like, man. And did y'all see Nicki Minaj go to jail out there in Amsterdam? That was crazy too. She told her security took the case and they still took her to jail, took her down through there anyway. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? Like we going up against a whole nother beast. It's a whole different animal right here, man. You know what I mean? It's a whole different type of oppression going on. And we don't need no third party oppressors and all that old stuff either. You know what I mean? Because we already got enough on our shoulders. Let me read some of these comments. Let me see what y'all talking about over here, man. After Miller's Lanes, man. For sure. After Miller's Lane. GB, I get that. Lil P had my people. For sure. Marcus, you talking about Marcus in there. Yeah, for sure. I get it. Shout out to the Anthers, Millers, and the Lanes. He said they talked about that man for hours, Crenshaw veteran, and wouldn't let him get up there on the stage. Because it ain't designed for him to get up there and be able to rebuttal. And even if you get up in there on a type of platform like that, they gonna mute you, get theirs off, roast you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't advise nobody going on that. You got to go on somewhere where it's impartial. That's why you see the debates. That's the presidential debates. You know what I mean? They don't go someplace to their homie and do the debate. Nah, they looking for a common, like, you know, a neutral ground to do all that. You know what I mean? Like, so that with that being said, I'm not going on that platform knowing that I ain't gonna be able to get a fair shake with the moderator. You know what I mean? They gonna overtalk me, mute me, and all type of stuff and spin the narrative. You know, head from 5'8". Yeah, which you talking about tiny head from 5'8"? Small breasts, all right, for sure. You know what I mean? Big head and them my dudes, you know? You know, talking about Jenkins and them. You know? Jonathan say, Brick is lying. They were never like that. They were never close like that. Obviously, if you could turn like that, you know what I mean? I ain't got nothing against Adam, but if you could turn against me over Adam that quick, you know what I mean? Like, bro, we ain't never been cool. Nah, he ain't cool, Dodger Blue. Archie Braggs ain't cool at all. You know what I mean? You know, you know, but you know, rest in peace, baby G Bob, Sex Foot, and all them. You know what I mean? You know, for sure. Galvin Gruesome said, hey, Briccbaby is a mark. The 40s ain't forgot that disrespect. Hey, you know, shout out to the glove. You know what I mean? You know, if y'all know, y'all know. Y'all, you know what I mean? If y'all know anything about me, y'all know, bro. You know, Vermont Square Park, bro. You know, Ella Dash said that been brewing ever since she caught that little heat from the other situation. I mean, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, he didn't stand up to it, Ella. El Dash, he didn't stand up to it. He swept it, you know, when it came to, you know, me force for force, he tucked it, you know. And I really took the brother aspect with him, like, all right, yeah, that's your brother, you know what I mean? Cause I know some ops that, you know, that slip up, bro. You know what I mean? It's no pun intended. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, It's just when conversations flowing. It's like me being on here. When y'all hear me kind of slow down and all that stuff, that means that I be trying to censor my language to make sure that it's gonna make it through this algorithm. You know what I mean? 42 people up in here, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the page, man. Let's go up, y'all. TD say Brick was trying to keep DW from turning up on him when they was in arm reach. uh, BG Town Junkie. Hey, BG say, man, come on. He don't even know the man long real name to even be talking about that's his brother. What's up, Shorty? I see you up in here. What up, bro? You said that Nicki stuff was some BS, bro. I don't know what Nicki stuff you talking about. You talking about with Lil P head? Yeah. TD, you going in though, Brick. He said Brick is like everybody else that's scary. All of a sudden, he big bro. You know what I mean? 10 toes, sabotage Nicki Minaj. They was trying to. She still pulled that. She still pulled that concert off though. You know what I mean? Crenshaw veteran. Crenshaw veteran said, "There's no excuse. DW knew the vibes before he got there. Him snitching on the security who is a member does nothing for him." Ah, that's workplace. Hey, let me tell you something, Crenshaw veteran. I used to be, when I first got out of jail, bro, I was so institutionalized. When I got my first job, one of my coworkers told on me, bro, and I really was ready to politic. But I had to be like, I had to really like, man, this the real world. This the workplace. Dudes is salvage. They trying to cut one another at the knees. You know what I mean? Chop block. Everybody up at the workplace chop blocking. You know what I mean? If you think them people is your friends, bro, get a promotion and see how that feel. Like, dudes do not be happy for you unless they the execs. The only people happy for you getting your promotion and being and elevating in life is the people that's up here that's trying to get up out of there, the execs, the higher ups. You know what I mean? Because they want you to take that workload up off of them. They the only ones, but them other dudes, them lower dudes that's trying to get up into them positions, bro, they savage, bro. I'm like, and they doing a whole lot of that talking, bro. Huh? They doing a whole lot of that talking, bro. You know? Marathon Kev, what's happening, bro? We just touching on a couple of things. We touched on the DW Flame and Briccbaby situation. You know what I mean? And, you know, we touched on a little bit of that Nicki Minaj situation. People really want me to go over there and start talking about them Jack Sparrow dudes and all that, but I'm not going over there. I will not be discouraged. I would not be sidetracked. Every time they say something, I'm straight on draws. I'm on Big U. I'ma keep on laying into him. You know what I mean? Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the page, man. You know? Come on. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the page, man. I will not be sidetracked because they ain't doing it without his nod. You know what I mean? And that's who I'ma stick to him like stank. I'm on that ass like stank. Read some more comments, man. What's going on, man? Everything in exchange. Everything is changed. That's a real saying over there in the turf, bro. That's a real saying. Let me read. I'm passing up some of these other ones. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get that right there. Anthony Millers and Lanes, you know what I mean? Said Adam gave them people the platform. You know what I mean? Them people, they should have took it and ran with it. You know what I mean? When you get up inside a situation, you supposed to be planning your exit from the day that you start. Like, how long am I gonna do this? You know, how long am I gonna do this to get to jumpstart my dream? I mean, you know, that's what it's supposed to be. You know, for sure. Go ahead and run it past him, Big Mark. You know what I mean? He could, and you know, Marathon Kev know how to get at me. You know, that's for sure. Pay money? Never, bro. Yeah, I was in affairs with Boo Boo. Ain't never turned down nothing, bro. It ain't in my heart. It ain't in my heart. He said, was you in affairs with Lil Boo Boo, Desmond, and did you or him turn down a fade from one another? Nah, bro. But that's my homeboy. You know what I mean? You know, we got into it. You know, it don't be nothing. Jonathan said that brother aspect was a facade to the heat, to get the heat off of him. Yeah, you know, I could see it. You know, I just, you know, if we locked in, ain't no switching up. You know what I mean? If we locked in, we locked in, bro. You know, they was locked in. He took that on the chin. I think he went a little bit far. You know, you can't be throwing these words around lightly. You know what I mean? I mean, for a dude that's not in the streets, okay, it don't mean anything. But for a dude that still consider himself a joint, that's still like, you know what I mean, up and down them blocks, when you start insinuating them type of things, she gonna be mad. You know what I mean? He might take it a certain way. You know, like I've been telling y'all, I've been trying to get up out of there. I'm trying to, you know, get desensitized from all that stuff because I shouldn't be on this platform if I can't take the heat. You know what I mean? And them too. They shouldn't be on this platform if they can't take the heat, but it's just coming from one another. They're supposed to be brothers, like you know what I mean. That might be another situation. Yeah, for sure, Shorty. You already know what it is, bro. You know what I mean. I wondered if Bricks and Kev Marathon Kev said I wonder if Brick and DW aren't in tandem to keep W name in rotation via drama till DW is ready to launch through his pod. That's the only way what Brick is doing is cool. Oh, I could see it like that. I could see that. You know what I mean? You know, like sometimes you know when Brick gotta run certain type of content. You know what I mean? He gonna tell it. He might tell you. You know what I mean? I done seen him do that. You know, and he gonna run it. He gonna try to soften the impact, but he gonna run it. You know what I mean? I give him a shout out for just you know giving me a heads up when he do it. You know? Yeah, cooling, bro. Just watched that broom come out in the game 4 against the Celtics Pacers. Yeah, man, I didn't even watch that, bro. I was just so, I didn't even watch the game. I'm like, like Indiana, they didn't really show me no fire, you know. He said, DW should have, GB, Anthony Millers and Lane said DW should have left that alone. He did that out of feelings, but that's workplace issues. That's just like what dudes be saying. That's you know, between a man and this girl type thing. You know what I mean? You know, you hear that slang saying all the time. He said, Tony Johnson say Adam is Brick Daddy. Okay, here come the jokes now. 10 toes. Respect the journalism. Jamal Brass say thirsty, thirsty. So bet. Yeah, I know your cousin Hood Boy for sure, bet. You know what I mean? My cousin is Big Hood Boy. You know? You talking about the one, you talking about Samaj? Big think Adam about to let him he ain't going crazy. Ah, oh man, that's why I love the chat, man. Man, like, comment, and subscribe, man. Share the page. 48 people up in here, 16 likes, man. These other people must be Big U sympathizers, man. Hey, even the Big U sympathizers, hit that like button, y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm speaking these facts, man. We ain't creating no narrative. We ain't creating no stories and none of that stuff, you know? Inglewood Legends up in here, man. You know, show K Money. K Money. He said, "Real homie shit. I feel you, man, for sure, man. You already know." Briccbaby B used to be cool and they fell out. Nah, I think they still cool, Jonathan. You know what I mean? Truth, man. Much respect to you also, King. You know what I mean? We gonna joke, but we gonna say something to substance, man, and try to get something out of the lesson, man. And if y'all could give me something, man, that gonna push me forward and make me a better man, make me come into the better version of who I am, I'm with it. You know what I mean? You know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I, AML, you know what I mean? I just want you to know that I'm quoting your comments and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a lot to be saying because it ain't really a pronunciation, bro. It's just letters. Truth, your comment was restricted. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I've been seeing them like beating this drum and all this stuff. You know what I mean? The only thing that I didn't like about that other interview, they keep on sliding my name in. You know, Little Richard and Pillow Hands and all them. They keep finding a way to slide my name up in there. But the only thing that I really wasn't liking, she brought up Lil Conrad. You know what I mean? And I know for sure she don't want to see that man. She just had a stroke. You know what I mean? She just had a stroke. She's starving for fame. You know what I mean? She's starving for fame. She just had a stroke. Uh, barely mobile. You know what I mean? Like, but you bring up the Loke name and like for real, like, oh man, we ain't even gonna go into it. You know what I mean? We gonna, hey, but I got a interview coming too, bro. We about to drop that interview. I just did the editing, man, on that thing, man. It's part two to the Kenny Kingpin type of situation, man. It's gonna be good, you know. It's gonna be good. Now y'all gonna have full transparency of what's going on, and I'ma lay it out to y'all and let y'all come to a conclusion. Y'all be the jury, you know what I mean? Y'all be the jury. Politicians, y'all, he said, Joe Dirt say this internet is the real beast, homie. Yeah, it's different. The internet good for a dude that ain't in the street though, Joe Dirt. You know what I mean? For a dude that's living his life right, internet perfect. You know what I mean? Anything that you see up here, you can go ahead and run content on. But for everybody else, you know what I mean? You know, if they don't want to be on this net, man, they need to not put themselves on the net. It ain't a person that I mention that's not on the net. That it ain't a person that I mentioned that's not on the net. You know, let's just keep it real. If y'all could name a person, man, y'all jump in the chat, jump in them comments right now, and tell me who I done brought up that ain't on the net. Hmm. I'm not gonna even answer that, politician. He said what she said about Rat. I ain't gonna answer that right there. He said hello from Japan, Russell John. However you pronounce that. Hey, it's difficult, man. Shout out to Japan. They up in the house, man. You know what I mean? Politicians say stop harassing Kenny. He keep letting them run content. How I'ma stop? I gotta go up. You know what I mean? Like, he keep running, he letting them run content. He letting them call dudes out of their name, all type of stuff on a platform that he created. Did y'all know he say he created it? Hey, but it's all fair and game. The difference is he in the street. I'm running content that he shouldn't even want out there. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep running it then. You want to play like that? Hey, here. You know what I mean? Dig something up on me. It's fair game. We all here. Said promotion too. Joe Doug said promotion too. I'm interviewing on this platform, man. I'm trying to drop that either tonight or by midnight. You know, I'm trying to hurry up and do that. The file was so big, I was having problems transferring it, and then the tablet battery died. I was so frustrated. It supposed to be up. Cool. Raquel say he can't see. Raquel Cole say I can't see your dark ass. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not here to knock nothing. You know what I mean? Hey, Rakim, I ain't here to knock nothing, man. You want to see what I am, you know what I mean? Go to my Instagram page, man. I'm a joint, you know what I mean? All the shorties that really know me, they know what I look like, you know what I mean? In the dark, LOL. Come on. Ray Sa. Ray Sa, he said it pronounced Ray Sa. Don't worry about it. People mispronounce it all the time. For sure, Ray Sa. You know what I mean? Nightwalker, eh? Terry Johnson. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he do. Tony Johnson, he do say that a lot. You know what I mean? But everybody say on hood, dead homies, that stuff don't mean nothing no more. That stuff don't mean nothing anymore. You know what I mean? He said, "Don't I ain't Joe Dirt. I ain't blocking no chats. You know what I mean? Hey, Joe Dirt. The chat so crazy. I be screenshotting them chats and putting them on Instagram. Dudes be saying some crazy stuff in these chats. They got the hey, and I just tap it up. Here. Yeah, I don't care about them chats. Put it up there, bro. I'm not tripping. Say what you want. I need to really try to comb through there and start answering all the chats. But man, I be having a gang of chats going on. Menace, what's the deal, bro? You already know. You know what I mean? We got that thing coming. We got that thing coming. I just was just tapping on couple of situations. For the most part, they was on, you know what I mean? They was talking about loose, so I won't even address that type of stuff. But, they still seem to figure out how to squeeze a dude in and all that old stuff, you know? So we going up. Kevo, I ain't doing that. I ain't about to say that right there. You know what I mean? I let you bang on your own. They gonna be able to see it. You know. Man, the chat got me cracked up. Hey, the chat go up, bro. That's why. I get bored. I come out here, man, and I just read this chat and I be like, whoa, man. Oh, hey, they got a hell of a sense of humor on this thing, man. You know what I mean? Mendo's Prime say caught me off guard. Yeah, man. What we ran through right here. We was talking about the Briccbaby and DW frame this situation. You know what I mean? And we ran about the Nicki Minaj situation also. You know, her getting caught up out of town. That was kind of absurd to me, man. For some pre rolls like in Amsterdam. Like, ain't y'all the place where all the smoke is at? Like, for real, like, I know y'all ain't shoestring tackling nobody over no pre-rolls when that's what y'all do, right? You know what I mean? Ain't that what they do? Huh? Jump in the chat. How absurd is that they took down Nicki Minaj for some pre-rolls, bro? That wasn't hers. It was her security already claimed it. Her security claimed it already, said it was his, and they still took her down and tried to make her miss the concert. How absurd is that? Huh? That's wow, man. We go to Amsterdam for just to smoke. We go out there to blow. And you telling me that y'all tackling dudes over pre-rolls? That don't make no sense, man. Like what y'all trying to kill the tourist attraction or something? Or is it just that y'all don't want, you know what I mean? Them yeah, huh? Say it goes without saying, you know what I mean? You don't want them people with them color there, huh? I don't know. For sure, man, Props. You gotta subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe, man. You know, we up in here. Todd Johnson, he said hit the man, come on, what is that? Huh? Money Loke, what's happening, bro? You know, Money Loke channel. And y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that button, man. You know what I mean? This dude right here, he must be like, you know, he might be perking. He keeps saying the same thing. I don't know what that's about. I ain't even about to, you know, even think about it. You know what I mean? We gonna go over it. Hit the button for the Loke, man. AML say, man, he been in Amsterdam back in the 90s. You could find that thing in the coffee shop. They found a zip in the alley on the way to the hotel. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, it's absurd that you want to shoestring tackle somebody over that when that's your whole attraction. That's what bring tourists. You know what I mean? Walter White want me to say his name. Yeah, there you go, Walter White. You know what I mean? Nino Brown, salute, bro. Joe Dirt, you said, man, you agree with everything that I got going on, but you need to take some off the big homie Big U. You know that man honored me. Okay, let's see how that go. Okay, uh, the grid thing go to 10th Ave to my auntie house. Might be a coincidence, you know what I mean? You know, I can't really say, you know, he did that, right? Okay. Number two, he stayed in constant contact with my bro. You know what I mean? He get paid to do that. You know, that was kind of suspicious. You know, a lot of phone calls coming in, but you know, maybe that was just some, you know, maybe he was just concerned. Number three, he hang with Cowboy that he know is in my paperwork. You know what I mean? That's kind of odd. Maybe a coincidence. You know, maybe you want to just stay neutral. We all homies. All right, cool. He hangs with Swanee that he knows in my paperwork. All right, that's four things. Maybe you know we all homies. You just want to stay neutral on that. What you know? All right, I get that. You know what I mean? But it's piling up though. You see all that? That's a you know what I mean? A lot of tedious things can make an issue become solid, right? Last but not least, he let his score gang artist release a song on my case while I'm going to trial. No, I can't let her. What? Like, nah, you know, nah. If that, he say he don't listen to the music before he drop it. So you just putting your money on shit. Knock it off, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he don't want to even say that he wrong, and I ain't, and you know what? I ain't even tripping. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna keep going up. And then he keep giving fools content on me. He letting them run content on me. He went from I can't say nothing bad about Rose to letting them run content on me, and I ain't tripping. I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'm good with it. You know, you know that's what it is. He said, "Yo, this guy slaps." Yeah, Nito Brown said, "Hell no." That's all. Hey, politicians say that's all coincidence. For real, uh, AML, you know, they retracted your comment. Can you smile, please? Yeah. Huh? There you go. Yeah. Huh? Huh? Yeah, I can smile. You know, there you go. Uh, I'm trying to grow my beard in, man, but I'm probably gonna cut it tonight. This shit too itchy, you know. Yeah, I know. All right, I get you, politician. You know. Yeah, Nino Brown. Go to my page. You will see it up on my page. Just go to Instagram, Lil Rose Official. You will see Cowboy Herman Douglas in my paperwork. Politician. Man, politician, you must don't know. That been his artist before I went to jail. And that's his artist after I went to jail. You know? 10th Ave been the headquarters, Money Low. 10th Ave been vicious, you know what I mean? Ben, you know what I mean? If you really want to run into anybody in the hood, you could come stand on 10th Ave for 2 days and you going to run into anybody. You know, if you lost their phone number, they going to come down 10th Ave at one point or another. We home base. Politician, if you don't get it, we ain't going to talk about it. Yeah, they don't want to talk about that, Jonathan. You know what I mean? They say it's cool for a man to call the police on the let. You know what I mean? They don't want to talk about that. You know? So it is what it is, bro. I'm not tripping. You know? I mean, and you know, and the situation with me, it happened, it turned out for the best for me. You know, because I don't think that I ever would have changed if it wouldn't have happened. I needed something to trigger my maturity. You know what I mean? I needed something. If it didn't happen, if I didn't feel betrayed, if that didn't happen, I'd probably be on the block all day. I wouldn't be trying to get my ambitions and my projects together. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be after this bag like that. You know? But you know, that right there did it for me, man. And you know, so I give praise and I thank him for it at the same time. But I don't think that I don't think nobody else should have to have their heart broke in order to find that change. I don't think that you should be able to go ahead and trigger that type of emotion in the youth. Burn both ends of the candle. Like you doing it for monetary gain, bro. You know what I mean? Like you selling me out for monetary gain, or you gonna sell the hood out? Like, and we've been going for record numbers, man. I really want to bring up a chart on that since its inception. I want to show a chart of how many dudes been going to jail. That you know what I mean? We in there in record numbers. I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about from the 30s to the 100. But just my section by itself is record numbers. But we ain't gonna talk about from like, you know, 30s to the hundreds, you know, because he got barbershop talk that add to a situation, that add to his margin. You know what I mean? That secures his contract. That barbershop talk, that's all politics, bro. You know what I mean? He keeps that around him, you know? And I mean, that's all cool if you not in the streets. That's all. I mean, really, it ain't never cool, bro. But that job, you can have that job if you're not in the streets. You know what I mean? Uh huh. You said you got unwanted moderators in the chat, flagging chats. Yeah, if they say, hey, if it's certain words that they be looking for on here, man. If they hear certain words, you type certain things in here, they gonna block it off the top. You see, I ain't even touched it. It ain't me blocking it. You know? Oh yeah, Crips. I know about Crip City, bro. You know what I mean? We got homies out there. You know, I I I know about the Gertrudes, the Donnas, you know, the 60s, all that out there. You know what I mean? You know, burger and all them, cheeseburger and all them. I used to be up in there with, up been in the feds with them. Lil Donnie and them, you know what I mean? Lee Mack, Riddler. You know, I know a lot of people from out there, bro. Evolve or die. Nino Brown said, you gotta evolve, bro. You know what I mean? Come on. I mean, we want to show that we made it up out of this thing. And I promise you, them dudes, them phone calls that's coming from them prisons, they gonna be like, bro, I should have been with you. It's gonna be so much regret because they gonna know that you was ahead of the curve. Like, you know what I mean? It took me a while to get ahead of the curve. I'm ahead of the curve now, you know what I mean? Because my whole crew is either gone or in jail. You know, I'm not nobody, not one of my guys is out here. You know what I mean? That started with me. Yeah, he say, do your stuff, King, and it's all deserve it. You know what I mean? Politician. This fool, politician, are you crazy? I'm over there like, hey, politician, I'm there like twice a week, bro. Like, fool, like, get up out of here, politician. I'm over there like twice a week. I'm about to stop that, though. You know what I mean? But, nah, I'm not renouncing nothing, man. It's up and it's stuck. That's what I'm saying. Nino Brown said if he got a contract to stop the violence, then why didn't he stop the marathon from getting raided? Huh? And why was he over there? Why he telling the homegirl to come to the hood and get a fade? Why he over there setting up a squabble with Spider and 600? Like, make it make sense. You know what I mean? I think that contract in jeopardy, bro. uh, for sure. Yeah, Vegas 60, Inglewood legend. I got a lot of homies from over there. You know what I mean? Joe Dirt say neutral is his position. Opinion based facts. I can respect that, bro. You know what I mean? I'm here to talk about it all. I'm trying to chop it up with y'all. That's what I came out here for, man. To holler, man. See what y'all on. You know what I mean? Mm. Tyrese Henry, what's up with Lady Fino? Lady Fino, she ain't bigger than me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I was in jail for a body when she started gangbanging. You know what I mean? I was in YA already. You know, so you know, she know what it is with me. You know what I mean? Like I hear the undertone like stuff and all that old stuff. Like like it's real spill over here. You know? Hey, nah, I could show y'all a picture. Go to Crenshaw Talk. Go over there to Marathon Care page. He got a picture with them holding up the 77 station sign. You know what I mean? And yeah, the mirror's in it with it. You know what I mean? She the one that's probably about to snatch that contract from him. Crenshaw Talk. You know, bro. It's with hey, the city. The city is the one that pays the police department. Politician, huh? When we be screaming defund the police, who you think the one that's gonna defund it, huh? That's come up out of that city budget. You know, VP say Rob, what's happening, bro? Man, Dob told when we was kids, man. TC, when we was kids, he told when he went to YA, Dob been bad and he been a buster. You know what I mean? But he might be a cool human being, but the street life ain't for him. You know, what type of father he is, what type of family man. This don't play no contents on that. You know what I mean? I can't speak on that. But for the street stuff, it ain't for him. It ain't even for me no more. You know what I mean? So I don't even take it as no mark. But yeah, But when he was in the streets, he been punked the game on that. You know what I mean? Like when we was in juvenile hall, he was the weakest thing going. You know, we was in YA. He already turned Muslim. He been stopped banging. Ask everybody in OA's clothes. They'll tell you about dog. Man, we over here just rambling, man. You know, Brad, we just going through a lot of topics over here, man. You know, straight from the gate. What up? You know, what politicians say Dobb a rap, but he with the gunplay. No, he ain't. Dobb was PC'd up. He even got PC'd up in prison. Hey, he was up in there with Screws, PC'd up. You know, Screws and them ran him up off the yard up in that thing. Like, Dobb ain't never been nobody, bro. You know what I mean? He's a good rapper. I get that to him. You know what I mean? uh, you know, I'm glad y'all guys could chop it up with one another, amongst one another up in this chat also, man. This thing like a party line. 64 people up in here, man. Let me get them 64 likes, man. What's going on? Like, comment, and subscribe. Rose Visuals, man. What's going on with this thing, man? Huh? Come on, man. What's going on? Nah, I done messed with the game tonight, Nino Brown. I didn't even watch it. You know what I mean? Like, if I was going to put my money, it would have been on Boston, you know? But I was kind of conflicted with that because I just knew that Hollenberg was going to come back and play his heart off to get one game. They could have went on and let the Knicks come up. The Knicks would have did better than that, man. They could have. That probably would have been a better matchup. I'm disappointed. You know, I thought Miles Turner and them. I'm like, oh, Miles Turner could stretch the floor, you know, and then you got Hollenberg doing his thing, and I'm like, oh man, it was sad, man. Sad day for Indiana, man. Shout out to my Naptown folks, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I see y'all still over here, BG Chunky Town, BG over here talking to somebody in the chat. The Vatro said he just seen Big U and Cowboy leaving Red Lobsters. Oh man, y'all trolling, man. I ain't gonna go for that one. Brown said that's who I thought was gonna make it. The Knicks, man. New York should have, man. That would have been a better matchup. Bronson would have went on and went to work. And Jason, if Jason Hart didn't get hurt, bro, they would have went crazy. They would have made it. Jason Hart got hurt. That's their defensive dude right there. That's their lockdown defender. You know, I used to watch them. They had a nice little team going on over there. And they had went and got the boy that used to be at Toronto Raptors. What's the Lord with the African name? You know what I mean? Dude hard, you know. But Jason Hart, he messed it. He went down and that whole thing folded, man. New York Knicks should have been there. It's a sad day for them. You know what I mean? Because Indiana went in there and got swept. Now tomorrow, guarantee, I think Dallas is about to sweep. I'm putting the money. I'm about to go back and put this money back on Dallas tomorrow. I got them sweeping because they cannot allow Boston to be over there resting and planning for them. Plus, you know what I mean, Luka Doncic, man, he kind of banged up. He need that rest. And then the dude with the concussion protocol, you know, he need that rest. Man, they about to go put the nail in the coffin on their ass tomorrow. Huh? He said Jason Hart lived in the front. You might be talking about the other Jason Hart. Uh, we got a Jason Hart that's, you know, that did live over there. That's out the section. You know what I mean? Jonathan said OG Ambanovi. Yeah, that dude hard. You know, I like dude. They should have made it, man. They should have made it, man. Inglewood legend. Oh, they still he ain't even talking to me on there. None of that. What's up with Bugsy? Oh yeah, Bugsy up in the feds, bro. Bugsy got a lot to say, bro. I'ma let him come home. You know what I mean? Like he said some tricky stuff, landed him up in there. So see, you know, it's crazy because it be the older dudes, you know what I mean, with staple names and stuff like that. And then a young dude will be coming up trying to call him on his stuff, you know what I mean? Call him on his bull. And the older dudes, like, that's how the hood is getting alienated and split up. That's how the young dudes is like over here, like we gutters, we this, because they don't feel like the older dudes is politicking right. You got dudes calling themselves BG cartel, like us on 10th Ave. We ain't functioning up under that stuff. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I be like, what? DP? What? Like, we do the DPing. Like, we ain't functioning up on none of that old stuff. You know what I mean? Get up out of here with that old grandfather stuff. Like, we ain't trying to hear none of that. And that's the same thing that's going on right now. You know what I mean? Because they not playing fair, and them young dudes is like, I've been listening to them young dudes right now talking about, hey, can't none old nigga get you next to me for a feature. Talk to my manager. Y'all gotta read between the lines on this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Then you hear another young dude and his stuff talking about y'all talking about we squabble, y'all squabble. Hey, message to the black man. You know what I mean? Them encrypted messages, like they shooting, they shot, they letting you know where they stand. Like, and for real, it's their turn, bro. It's their turn. They ain't tainted. They ain't as jaded. You know what I mean? They the one that's the reason why homies is hanging in the bounty hunters, why homies is cool with the lanes, why homies is cool with this. They the reason that's merging that. You know what I mean? The old dudes is piggybacking that movement. They seeing it and they capitalizing on it. You know what I mean? Because if the young dudes didn't want a dude to come over there and hang, they'd get on him. Like, I don't care what an old dude. We always used to get on him. What? You over here with who? Take that, Diddy. Take that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to hear that, you know? But you got to pay attention to it, man. The young dudes, it's their turn, man. And that's who we should be addressing with the grid situation. You got to put them young dudes in position. If you want to really affect youth, the trajectory of youth, them dudes that's over there struggling to look cool with the mamas and daddies that done fell by the wayside, daddy in prison, mama out here running around, probably, trying to find a substitute for loving or whatever. You know what I mean? These young dudes, they looking for a lane on how to get that. If you go ahead and put them in position, bro, man, it'll be peace around the world. Just imagine. You know what I mean? Just imagine. Ain't no way we should be running around in each grid. Everybody in each grid area is old pot belly dudes and stuff looking like they just came out of Roof Chris. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all not even in shape to control nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? But if these kids see somebody that look like them out there, they got more persuasion to stop everything. Everything that's coming up under them, they tinies and they infants and whatever, it's gonna listen, bro. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm not listening to no old dude. I used to be here. I go over there and do the fake, like, you know what I mean? Pay attention. Yeah. You're right. We walk off laughing. Like, who the hell that nigga talking to? Who he think he talking to? We get on that old dude. Like, that's how they feel, bro. That's how they feel. So, like, come on, man. Like, are we really trying to affect change or what? Huh? That's real spill, man. It ain't gonna get no realer than that, man. You know? He said they ain't gonna pay him right. Nito Brown, man. He said you ain't gonna pay him right. Sophia say, do you like Sexy Red? I mean, I wouldn't let my daughter listen to her. Like, you know what I mean? I might like the way they shake it to it, you know what I mean, in the club, but you know, I'm not letting my daughter listen to that stuff. Like, it's crazy because on the PlayStation they got Soak City, and my son be, you know, he be singing that. I'll be like, he don't even know what that mean, and I won't even decipher the words for him. You know, I keep it in Da Vinci for him, but it's gonna come a time where he gonna be like, man, I've been singing this whole time, and they've been talking about the stuff that I'm, like, you know, they on one accord with me. You know, we on the same sound wave, like, you know. But yeah, but you know, to each his own, man. You know, Sexy Red made it out of the hood, man. Let her do what she do. You know what I mean? I'm just reading some more stuff. Banked up 700. Thank you, man. He said, and that's why you turned out so great. It's man, it was a long way coming. I've been a loser, bro, for a long time, and I thought I was winning. It's crazy why you up in jail. They like, you know, they convince you that you winning. Oh, he a solid nigga. Woo, woo, woo. You done lost your family. You know what I mean? Yo, baby mama messing with the homie now. They grinding out of her house. Your son is somebody tiny loc. Your daughter a city girl now. And they telling you, yeah, he a solid nigga. He a solid nigga. Make it make sense. He a solid nigga. He a solid nigga. But soon as you do something else with your life, you square up, you try to get to the bag and do all that, you know what I mean? He like, oh, he on that buster shit. But your credit going up, you just bought a house, you in the fly stuff, you know what I mean? Police ain't tailgating behind you. Huh? Huh? Tell me which one is winning. Like, how come we keep on letting them tell us that we going to jail, we winning? Oh, you a solid nigga. Man, that man got 30 years up in there. And man, them people got life up in there, and dudes out here shaking tail feathers with the witness. Just say screw them without saying screw them. Huh? Say screw them dudes up on that yard without saying screw them. It ain't no other way you can slap them in their face besides doing the stuff that we been doing out here. Like, because ain't nobody really trying to address them issues. What they saying to them dudes in jail is, that's between them. Man, we ain't advocating violence, but I come from an era where it was like the young long range, or anybody could touch whatever that's foul. You know what I mean? But if we gonna be partying with them, man, we need to be with them partying with an affidavit in our hand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, let's go ahead and free these gates. You know what I mean? That's like marijuana becoming legal, and you still got all these dudes up in jail for marijuana cases. Even they took that up off of people. If they know it's right, how come the streets policies, our politics ain't straightened up? You know? Then we got dudes out here, we getting along with different sets right now that other dudes is in jail for serving. Our ancestors is in jail for serving. I'm for the peace though. I'm for all that. But like, we still need to fight for them dudes to get out now that we rocking together. Hey, bro, the homie up in that thing, I know it leave a bad taste in your mouth, but like, hey, they slammed the door like this and all this, like, you know what I mean? Like, how do we address that? It's sad, bro. You know what I mean? Cause I got some real homies up in there, man, that might not never see the streets again, bro. Every day, have you ever seen dudes on that? Y'all been in the feds, man. Dudes walking that Fed line, dude. Every day they talking about, yeah, it's in the a new case law coming down. A new case law coming down. A new case law. Do you know how man? Like we trying to talk it into existence. You know, you get down to your last 2 years, your last, you on your way to the halfway house when the case law finally come out. You done did the whole bit, you know? But I'm just saying, man, we just doing some real spill up in here, man. That was just some stuff that's on my mind, man. And it's just crazy, The old timers advise you to do, advise you to the problems that's ahead. Drama with the feds, not listening, just bobbing your head. Yeah, banked up 700. He got some rhymes going on. Who is this? BIM. Let me see. Read all the books written by Neville, Goddard, Captain Ponder, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I get it. Yeah, but yeah, we about to bring this thing to a close, man. You know, tap in with me. Let me know what this thing doing, man. Like, comment, and subscribe, man. I'm glad y'all came up in here, man. Share the page. I got a little bit of juice left on here, but it's gonna die in a minute, you know. And but for sure, man, I appreciate y'all coming by and tapping in with me, man. Let's do it again.